Hey everyone, this is Nathan Cross checking in, and today I will be giving you my review on the Reebok Nano Pump Fusions. Now, interestingly enough, I wasn't initially planning on doing a review for the Nano Pump Fusions, but many weeks ago, for the Black Friday sale, Reebok held a pre-sale for people who had accounts, and I just decided to jump on it. The opportunity to get the shoes for about 50% off was something I just couldn't ignore. Given that they were on the Canadian website, that is for about 150 bucks, I had to take the opportunity to get them at a really discounted price, so I jumped on it. Now, one of the main things that I want to reiterate both for this shoe review and the past shoe review I did with the Nano 5.0s versus the Metcon 1s is that I really like to review my shoes on the basis of not just the avenue of a strict CrossFitter, people who participate in those movements, people who just go to boxes. This is to inform people outside of the realm of CrossFit that these shoes can work for you, to make sure that the title CrossFit doesn't deter you from getting a potentially amazing shoe that can fit your game. Now, the first thing that I really wanted to think about when doing these tests was the traction. Now, something that you can see that's clear is that the traction pattern in the overall outsole holistically is identical to the traction pattern and outsole of the Nano 5.0s. The Rope Pro on both the Nano Pump Fusions and the 5.0s, again, both the same, so you're going to get good experiences with both shoes. Right off the bat, you know that the tread is going to be A1. The traction held up a few weeks into training, and even looking back now onto the way my 5.0s look, the traction is still pretty good. I can say the same thing after testing the Pump Fusion for the past few weeks, even doing training on different surfaces, concrete, turf, the rubber track. It was amazing. Now, when I took the Pump Fusions for a run, both outside on a track and on the treadmill, as you can see in the footage, I discovered that they're a lot more comfortable to run in. And I wasn't actually sure why until I looked into the shoe and felt that the insole that came with the Pump Fusions are about the same thickness, that both compress. However, it's much softer than the ones that came by default in the 5.0s. So holistically, you probably will find that this is a more comfortable and cushioned shoe overall, due in large part to the new integrated pump technology and its respective upper. However, I feel that the trade-off with this pump technology and its respective upper is that the engineered mesh type material backed with Kevlar that came originally with the Nano 5.0s is a lot more supportive laterally and medially, and that was one of the primary issues I discussed when comparing the 5.0s to the Metcon 1s. Now, in this case, the Pump Fusions actually seem to be a little bit weaker on the lateral and medial support avenue. One of the reasons that I find that I'm going to be wearing these shoes as often as I can is because of the way that I feel. Now, for me personally, I have slightly wider feet, not super wide, but slightly wider feet, but I think it's just the feel of the upper that makes it more comfortable for me. Now, with that being said, the upper is probably the one thing that rivals what other shoe companies have out there right now. Things like Adidas Tech Fit, Under Armour Clutch Fit, what Nike's got with a combination of the fly-knit upper with their fly-wire lacing system. And the reason why I make that reference is because they always want to talk about giving you that glove-like, sock-like fit. And this shoe is the truest that I've ever felt in comparison to that. Durability-wise, the shoes are showing no sign of wear. Over time, I found that these shoes were a little bit more comfortable for me compared to the other training shoes that I've worn in the past. In the footage, you can see that one of the workouts that I was doing involved rowing, involved double unders, and involved quite a bit of running. And I was actually attempting 333 there. Now, conventionally, you wouldn't, do that workout with just regular Nanos. You'd probably want to do them with running shoes on. But for those people out there who only have that one pair of training shoes and you'd like to do a lot of longer workouts, endurance type training, then the Pump Fusions are the shoes for you. Now, in contrast, if you were to participate in a workout that was significantly shorter or one that specifically involves a lot more weightlifting, I'd suggest that you stick to your Nano 5.0s or just your conventional pair of weightlifting shoes. Now, the reason why is because I've heard comments in the past, over the past few weeks and months doing my research on the shoes, what other people have said is the fact that they're not very good for weightlifting, and I wasn't sure why until I really tried to figure this out for myself. Now, interestingly enough, there are actually two reasons for this. Now, the first reason is that the upper around the bridge of the Nano Pump Fusions is significantly softer than the upper of the 5.0s or any conventional weightlifting shoe that you might train in. There's that in addition to the heel counter on the Pump Fusions. They're a lot softer, whereas with the 5.0s, there's a very much more reinforced heel counter on those that you'll feel. Now, the key is that a solid platform allows you to exert force directly into the floor. Now, because the Pump Fusions have properties of running shoes, being a much softer insole, they absorb the force upon impact. This goes back to what I said before with the running, providing more impact protection. So if they're absorbing more force on impact, you won't have as good of a lift. Rather than absorbing the force, you need all of the force and energy that your body produces to be exerted directly into the ground, so it is returned back up onto you so you can live up to your potential and lift as much weight as you need to lift. Now, at the end of the day, it made sense for the price increase to be there from the 5.0s to the Pump Fusions because of the really good tech that they added into the shoes. So if you're someone like me, someone who doesn't spend too much of their time lifting, and when they do lift, won't be focusing on lifting predominantly heavy and has more endurance-based workouts, then the Pump Fusions are a really good shoe for you. However, if you're someone who spends a lot of time lifting, a lot of time in the gym, a lot of time in their box, really likes to go heavy, then you probably want to stick to the 5.0s or any other CrossFit shoe out there.